I'm gutted. We've let not only ourselves down, but we've let the club down. We've also let the supporters down.
MAMELODI Sundowns played the best football in Africa. It's attack-minded, attractive, adventurous.
Second once more, it's a brilliant strike, it's a stunning goal, and Mamelodi Sundowns have the breakthrough.
But is that approach failing them in the CAF Champions League?
I don't know where we miss it.
Now, this may be a heartbreaker of a subject for any purist, but after another semi-final elimination, the South African Giants, it's an unavoidable question. A question that many in my Sundowns nation have wrestled with before and are wrestling with again. This is the MAMELODI Conundrum, something that captures Mamelodi's story in the CAF Champions League and explains their perennial shock eliminations.
Probably the most difficult game I ever played, because Sundowns is an unbelievable team. You know that I don't need to I'm not making...
And by the way, their 2-0 aggregate loss to Esperance in the semi-finals was a huge shocker. Okay, maybe not so huge because Esperance have bigger pedigree as 4-time winners. And Mamelodi really struggled against Yanga in the quarterfinals and might have been eliminated. So in retrospect, the Esperance result wasn't a bolt from the blue necessarily.
Mamelodi Sundowns are the winners.
But it was a surprise because Mamelodi were favourites, perhaps even clear favourites at the start of the semi-finals. It's just the way it works, right? Mamelodi were not convincing against Yanga, and we all should have seen it as a warning sign. But what did we do? We thought, perfect wake-up call. This will make them even more dangerous against Esperance. Well. But the main reason we thought that way is because, well, Mamelodi are just a dominant football team.
Teams don't play against Sundowns whether home or away and play open.
They really are the Brazilians of African football. Well, aside from the fact they have just won CAF Champions League title, but Mamelodi just play football the right way. They always play to win, whether at home or on the road. They never sit back just to frustrate opponents, but always seek to attack to entertain. They had, 61% possession in Tunis and 72% possession in Pretoria.
I feel football from an offensive sense. Football is a game that I feel needs to be played in a certain way to evoke certain emotions.
Sounds like purist talk, right? But no one can dispute the fact that Rulani Mokwena Sundowns always errs on the side of positive attacking football. It's in their DNA.
I ask myself, would my late grandfather be proud to see a team that I coach play the way it plays?
That obviously is not how their opponents go about their business. The general rule in African football is that when you play away, especially in the quarters or semis of the CAF Champions League, it's defense first.
We had to have a tactical approach that would allow us to close as much as possible the spaces, the individual quality, the tactical variants that we could see on the pitch.
Look at Al Ahly, the defending champions, who have won this thing 11 times. In the quarterfinals against Tanzania Simba, they had 37% possession, conceded 20 shots, 7 on target. They had just 1 shot on target, and it was the winning goal. Now, what is even stranger is Al Ahly also had less possession at home, less shots on goal, albeit with more shots on target, and won 2-0. Away to Mazembe in the semis, Al Ahly had 36% possession and conceded 16 shots, 3 on target. They had just 7 shots on goal, 1 on target, and escaped with a 0-0 draw. In the return leg in Cairo, Al Ahly had 57% possession, 16 shots on goal, and 10 on target. And this is the point, they won 3-0. Tactical or unnecessarily cautious?
I had to be realistic on the approach and have to suffer a lot.
If you're better, why change your approach just because you're away from home? That's Mamelodi's mindset anyways. Mamelodi also played Mazembe this season, back in the group stages. They dominated both legs. 71% possession in the second leg, 66% possession in the first. 7 shots in total 3 on target to Mazembe's 2 and 0 in the second leg, 15 shots, 3 on target to Mazembe's 10 and 2 in the first leg. The tie ended 1-1 on aggregate. You see why it's a conundrum, or at least why it appears to be a conundrum?
If I felt that we dominated in Tunisia, I don't know what other narrative to use today.
Obviously, this is nothing new. Mamelodi are not the first dominant team, possession-wise, to face this problem. We know that. And as ever in such cases, the question raised is the same. What is the point in dominating the ball if you don't win the biggest titles?
Is that enough to win you the Champions League? And so far, clearly, it's not enough.
In other words, is ball possession and entertainment an end in itself, or is it the results?
Of course, football is a game that is business and result orientated.
For Rulani Makwena and Mamelodi, winning and beauty can perfectly coexist, except the balance between the two remains elusive for now. Thanks for watching.
I've made a promise to the Sundowns fans that we will win it. And I am a man of integrity.